So you're deep into work, you're like totally absorbed, you're on your game, and all of a sudden, bam, into your awareness, ow, my back. You adjust your chair, you get up, you walk around, you stretch your hamstrings, you do all the things your PT told you to do. Maybe you've invested in lumbar support, you try a different chair, but that nagging lower backache keeps coming back. What if the real issue isn't your back, but your pelvis? And your pelvis's relationship to the body. After all, it's your foundation. It's the base of you. In this video, let's explore why most sitting-related low back pain starts with a subtle but really powerful misalignment in the pelvis. And I'll show you a simple somatic reset you can teach your body and help your body to heal and find more natural alignment, safety, ease, all without force. So you guys, I'm Dr. Melanie Carlo, and welcome back to Why It Hurts and How to Heal. Now, before we begin, the usual thing, please like this video. Actually, probably you got to see it first, but if you've seen my other videos and you're back, please definitely like it. Subscribe to the channel. I keep putting out stuff. I'm really getting inspired to do this. Let me know in comments what you think. Where do you feel tension with sitting? What did this help? What didn't it? What else do you need to know? Thanks. So when people talk about lower back pain, they often focus on the spine, tight muscles. Maybe you've had an MRI, CAT scan, you had an x-ray. They tell you you have degenerative discs. Maybe your disc is bulging, or you've just had lifelong bad posture. But what if actually the root of the problem is at the root of the spine? Let's look at it. So here's the spine. These are the bumps you feel when you run your fingers down someone's back. So that's the back, and this is the front, okay? The spine is meant to have three natural curves. There's a curve in at the low back. That sits right above your buttocks. Curve in. A curve out at the mid-back. That's where the ribs come off and hold all your internal organs. Lungs, heart, all that. And then a curve back in at the neck. So inward curve, outward curve, inward curve. Your spine is not designed to be straight. It's designed to have curves for resilience. When those curves are in their right place, your ear is over your shoulder, is right over the center of your hip bone, is over just in front of the ankle and the top of your arch. Ear over shoulder, over hip, over arch. Why? Because historically, many years of development of this incredible body we have, we were designed to walk many miles a day or run if we needed to for long distances. And we knew we had to be in a relationship to gravity that allowed us maximal efficiency with minimal effort. So think about it. Ear over shoulder over hip. When you watch someone who's a beautiful runner, you can see they're holding that kind of posture. They're in relationship to gravity. When you have that kind of posture, the other thing that happens is the bone above sits on the bone below. And this goes through the whole body, your knees, your shoulders, everywhere. We'll talk more about that later. But when you have the proper curves and you're in alignment with gravity, the bones sit on the bones. They hold you up like they're meant to. And when they're able to do that, the muscles are free to go through their full range of motion. As a matter of fact, in your back, each vertebra, and you have 5 of them in your lumbar spine, L5, lumbar, L, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Each one of these vertebra is meant to flex and extend, to rotate, and to side bend. Each of them only moves a little, but collectively, when they work together, it makes a big difference for the whole spine. So that's a really important element. When you have freedom of movement, it's because you're in alignment with gravity and your muscles have ease, and each vertebra is able to do a full range of motion. But if you have sat in poor posture for a really long time, if you've had an old injury that your body's gone into a pattern of protection, this natural alignment gets out of whack. And your bones no longer hold you up. The muscles or the ligaments are holding you up. As a matter of fact, you can totally forget how to get back into alignment. And we call this somatic amnesia, because that pattern of protection and misalignment starts to feel normal. And when it feels normal, you don't even think you can get back into alignment and think, that's not right. That doesn't feel right. So that's what we overcome with these kind of somatic resets that we're working on right now, is to start to feel again what feels good and turn your attention inward. So when you've had these kinds of misalignment, over time, the natural lumbar curve, that inward curve, can either flatten because you've been sitting slumped for a long time, bending forward, rounding it out, or it overarches. If you're a percher and you sit and type and you don't really have back support and you tend to overarch, those muscles start to become tight and you get too much arch. So in other words, your spine will compensate. Your muscles will brace to help you. And your nervous system quietly shifts into protection mode. It's only trying to help. And it gets this pain. It's like, oh my gosh. And the only thing it can do is to tighten. So that's where somatic healing comes in. Instead of just trying to fix your posture, somatics is where you reconnect with your body's natural ability to sense, to adjust, and to restore balance, because it can feel it gently from the inside out. Not just going to someone, chiropractor, which I love, or physical therapist, which I am, but to access internally where your center is. So in short, your back pain might not actually be a problem with your spine. It might actually be coming from your pelvis, asking for your support and your attention. So let's try a simple pelvic reset together from a somatic point of view. You can do this anywhere you're sitting, at your desk, in your car, the edge of a bed. It's good sometimes to have a little more firm seat underneath you if you're not familiar with your sit bones. Your sit bones. The inward curve in your back, right? Your sacrum, that fused triangle that sits between the buttocks. Your ilia, or your hip bones. And these two little knobby things are your sit bones. When you stand, your feet are your base. When you sit, these sit bones are your base. These two. So we're going to work right now on feeling them. So bring your awareness to your sit bones, the bony points underneath you. Can you feel them? Sometimes it's a little hard. Let's see if we can tune it in. Gently rock the pelvis back and forth like a tiny wave. And just imagine, feel that you're on these rounded bones that you're connecting with. This is not a stretch. It's not a workout. I just want you to sense movement. And maybe you can even sense as you roll your back and your belly comes in, naturally you exhale. And as you roll forward, let it be an inhale. And let your movement follow your breath. Okay? And so let's refine it a little bit. As you tilt forward and you breathe in, noticing how your back moves, feel it arch slightly. Arch it a little bit more. Notice. And as you get ready, begin an exhale and tuck under and feel how your back is flattening. Flatten it a little more. Pull your belly button in. And let your breath flow. Let it kind of guide the movement. Inhaling, tilting forward. Open it a little bit. Extend it. Exhale as you tuck under. Pull your belly button in. Flatten it a little more. And so in the beginning, kind of notice, let your whole body be involved in the arch and flatten. Go slow. You don't need to do this big. It doesn't need to hurt. As a matter of fact, it's not good if it hurts. The body then wants to protect you again. Don't let it hurt. Just breathe and let your whole body move. And notice how you're rocking on your sit bones, your belly button, your breastbone, your neck, your head. They are all moving. Be aware. Okay, now come to stillness, and I want you to isolate from your solar plexus, right below your breastbone, right from your solar plexus down, you're going to move and keep everything up above quiet. Try just moving from the belly button. Pull it in, Extend it, kind of rocking your pelvis forward and then pulling it backwards. And keep the motion small. It's going to get smaller as you do this. And be aware of the muscles you use just to tilt, extend, and flatten your back. Your sacrum, your lower pelvis, just from here. Now, here's a cool thing. Try it even lower. Go from your belly button down. So feel the space between your belly button and your sit bones. Imagine it in your mind's eye. And now, just from the belly button down, arch and flatten. And let your breath be there. And notice, a lot of us are pretty disconnected with our lower bellies. Just feel it. These are small motions. Some of us really struggle with the small motions because we've lost touch with the muscles that help us do small individual motions of each segment. And a lot of us, especially in the sitting culture on computers a lot, we lose awareness of that part of our middle. This can also show up as excess weight, pelvic floor issues. There's a lot of stuff around that. So just be really kind to yourself. Really small flexion and extension. All right, here's a reset. Let's find a place in the middle so you're neither arched nor flexed, but I want you to come to the middle. And imagine your sit bones kind of pushing down like thumbs in clay. Feel your sit bones go down. You're not arched, you're not too flat, balanced. And pushing those sit bones down, pushing down into gravity, lengthen the spine, okay? So you might feel your chin come in, you might feel your chest rise back and front. Push down the sit bones, lengthen. And now here's the really challenging part, but really rewarding. Keep the length, and now relax. Stay long and open, but let go of effort. This is your body's version of neutral, your natural alignment. The body's ability to find your center of gravity and connect to the earth, connect with gravity, but also connect to the impulse that lifts you upward and find that impulse, that energy from the middle of you. And notice how the spine feels here in the middle. And how about the rest of your body? You may notice there's some pinching. My shoulder blades, my neck, I'm not really doing this. That's that amnesia. By gently and consistently resetting your pelvis, knowing your sacrum and your pelvis is the base of your spine, if you do this gently over and again, the body begins to come into alignment. Your shoulders soften. Remember, if you've seen some of my other videos, your shoulders aren't meant to hold anything up. They don't even attach to your spine. They attach to the scapula in the back and come up to the clavicles and just attach here. They're meant to sit on your rib cage gently. Notice what happens with the shoulders when you're in your center. Notice if your head draws gently back, that maybe your jaw unclenches, sometimes for the first time in a very long time. You don't have to force good posture. Your body already knows how to find it when you can connect with what aligns you to gravity in the earth and what lifts you upward. And you begin to unravel the old patterns that hold you out of that alignment. So you begin to have the opportunity to give your body the space to feel into, what does it mean to be centered? As you practice this gentle centering movement, you're doing more than stretching, you're doing more than working. You're restoring a communication between your brain and your body, and between your body and your brain. And that's how somatic healing works. You bring awareness to forgotten places, to amnesic places, and you create new options for movement. You shift out of old holding patterns, what's been trying to protect you, and back into balance with you and your presence being in charge and being connected to that body. And over time, you're likely to notice less tightness in the low back, easier, more relaxed sitting. When the pain comes on, you have something to do to find yourself sitting on your bones again, which means fewer flare-ups when you're working, driving, even resting, and a new sense of control and calm in your body. Think of your pelvis like the base of a tree trunk. If the base has been tilted or twisted, the whole trunk has to adapt to the twist. And in times of stress, high winds, storms, it usually struggles. It struggles to stay upright. But when you find again that base becomes grounded and centered and responsive, the upper tree can bend with the wind and return to the center with ease because it has that center line of connection. This is true of all of us right now and what we're trying to work with. Strong support doesn't come from bracing. It comes from awareness and it comes from connection. So try this seated pelvic reset once a day this week and notice how your back responds. It takes repetition, it takes kindness, but it takes consistency. Every time you can think about it, not just in the moment, throughout the day. Leave a comment below and let me know, what did you notice? As you start to tune in more and you give your body the option to feel the arch and the flattening, did you feel more supported? Can you feel yourself sitting on your bones? Did sitting come easier for you? I hope so. And if you liked this, click the like, subscribe to my channel, and next time we're going to explore what's really behind, as I mentioned, shoulder blade pain. Why shoulder blade pain might be a reflex and not a muscle strain. So until then, be gentle with yourself. Keep going. Let your body lead the way. See you later, Gaias.